I had somebody ask me to give a history on my boxers. I do get questions now and then about them and if any of them are related and what's the story behind my girlies. So Lucy, she's the oldest. She will be 8 in June. The next oldest here is Chloe. And Chloe just turned 5. And this is Ellie. She'll be 5 in May. And Lacey over here, she will be 2 in August. Okay, I guess to give you the history of the dogs, I need to start from when we moved here. And Lucy's going to try to play. Lucy. To give you the background, we got to back up to when we moved here. We moved to this house September of 2007. We were still living in Chicago, obviously August of 2007. And it was right before we moved. Our girl boxer, Noah, we had 2 boxers at the time, Noah and Aslan. Noah got sick with cancer, and she was 10, and we had to, say goodbye to her, put her down. Noah, we got her, I think it was June of 1997, and we got Aslan 2 years later. And though they were 2 years apart, they were very close. You get multiple dogs, they're all close. These girlies, obviously, because they're girls, they're very much like sisters. But Aslan and Noah, they were more like husband and wife, not brother and sister. And Aslan, he was very attached to me. He would follow me everywhere I would go. And when Noah was put down August of 2007, he totally changed. He would lay on the couch, just moping, real sad. He stopped eating for a week. We had to kind of almost force him to eat. And it was at that time, I was heartbroken too, and I just needed to, that's how I get through my grief, is I have to pour my love into another dog. So we went and got a new puppy, and I thought that not only would it help me and the rest of my family, but it would help Aslan. So we went and got Lucy. Here's a picture. This is February of 2007, and that's Noah, and the bigger dog is Aslan. So Noah was 9 there, approaching 10, and then Aslan was 2 years younger than her. And then this is Aslan when he was a puppy. That's me. And that's Noah. Here they are again. You can see them. Noah with the red and Aslan. And that's Noah. She's looking at our Persian cat, Elsa. And then here's Noah and Aslan right after we got Aslan. And you can see from get-go they were best buds. And anyway, Noah and Aslan, they loved each other very much. We introduced a new puppy, Lucy, and let's see if we can see this without the glare. There's Lucy. We got her as a puppy. There she is with Aslan. And she's a tiny little peanut there in the grass. And that's her drinking out of the water dish as soon as we brought her home. That's after her first bath we gave her. And we kept her in our old little pack and play thing. And there's Lucy. there, and those are Aslan's jowls there. I posted this picture on MySpace, and you know, in my pets section, and people were like, "What is that?" It's like, it's part of my other dog's face. But anyway, that's Lucy, and there she is in her little Minnie Mouse dress. There she is, little Lucy. And there she is with Aslan. This is when Aslan started to warm up to her. A couple weeks after we got her. There she is. This is, so this was, as you can see, September of 2007. And this was a couple weeks before we moved. There she is there. I put her in those little dresses. Aslan, it took him a while to warm up to her. The first week, almost 2 weeks, he did nothing but growl at her every time she would come near. But he was still mourning Noah. He didn't like having the replacement, if you will. And so, and there's Lucy there. And so he never really got close to her, obviously, like he was with Noah. He was heartbroken for the next 2 years until he passed away, too. He died of a broken heart. He truly did. His heart was broken. After Noah died, he was never, ever the same. He never followed me like a shadow. He never wanted to play ball again. He just went into a depression. His heart was just broken. And, you know, while he was alive for those 2 years, even after we moved, you know, he got along with Lucy. He wasn't mean to her, but he just didn't want to play so much. So again, this is right before we moved. And then this is after we moved. That's Adam, my son, and there's Aslan there. And then there's Lucy on our deck. And Adam was a skateboarder kid, and he's building a new skate rail. This was probably a couple weeks after we had moved in. So here's Aslan and Lucy a year later. Like I said, Aslan, he got friendly with Lucy. He liked her, but he just never wanted to play with her or anything. And she was a puppy full of energy. And if you've ever had a boxer, really any kind of a puppy, they need to romp and play. And so that's when I told Harry we need to get another boxer. So we got a little girl boxer, and we named her Ellie. What's little Ellie doing? They just came in from going outside. They were good puppies. They got a cookie because they went potty like good puppies, Lucy and Elia. What are you doing, girls? What's the girls doing? What are you doing, Luz? Ellie, what do you got in your mouth? So we got the girl boxer, Ellie, and Ellie and Lucy were inseparable. They just played and played, and Aslan just, you know, he hung to himself. Aslan got sick, and he also passed away. So from the time we moved to our house until he passed away in December of 2009, so this is January 8th, so a year later from this picture, Aslan, he died. And he died of a broken heart. Little Ellie and Lucy were the only ones. So we went to go find another boxer, again, having lost Aslan, and he was very attached to me, so losing him was really, really hard. I wanted another puppy. So we went and we picked out a new puppy from the same breeder that we got our Ellie from. So the little puppy that we got was Miss Chloe over here. Chloe, good girl. And so the three girls got along really well. The breeder that we got Chloe from was the same breeder that we got Ellie from. Now that Ellie is not to be misconstrued with this Ellie. Chloe and our first Ellie, they were sisters.
Come on, Chloe. Chloe. Where's Lucy and Ellie? Come on. Where'd she go? There she is.
Chloe and our first Ellie, they were sisters. So same breeder. He did have a couple moms that he was breeding. Fortunately, when we went, her mother was pregnant with a new litter getting ready to be delivered within a few weeks, and it was the same father. So Chloe and her sister Ellie were sisters, just 2 litters apart. And we no sooner got Ellie. So here's Chloe and Ellie. This was in May. We picked up Chloe in April, and we had her for about a month, and that's when Ellie got sick. We took her for all kinds of testing and so forth. She had a rare bone cancer, and she was only 20 months old. She wasn't even 2 yet. And you can see her panting. She got to the point, this is the day we had to put her down, actually. She couldn't breathe.
Ellie, what are you doing?
It was really difficult for her because it had spread all in her chest cavity. It was pushing on her lungs. So we had to put her down, unfortunately. But this is Ellie. But see, when you look, you would think that that's Chloe and Lucy. And they were the best friends ever. And then there's little Chloe.
This is May 27th. Thursday, taking a little movie of my Chloe and Lucy. This is a sad day for all of us because yesterday we said goodbye to our Ellie, and we're very sad. Lucy's sad too, and it's probably why she's moving away from the camera.
And I got them together, Chloe and Ellie, the 2 sisters. There they are there. There they are there. And so, anyway, when we had to put this Ellie down, Lucy obviously was a bit saddened, but because she was only, I think she was going on 3 years old at the time, so she was still fairly young. She wasn't older like Aslan. I thought I was going to have another problem with a heartbroken dog, but because we had already gotten Chloe, she did okay. In the meantime, I went to find another dog. One thing about Lucy, she's been very maternal, and as you know, even when I have my grandson here, Lucy's very mothering. So here's Lucy being naughty, getting on the couch. They're not really supposed to be on this couch. But yeah, Lucy was very mothering. And I thought if we got another puppy, it would help cheer her up a little bit. That she would have 2 little babies, the kind of mother. Chloe was getting a little bit older. So we found a new puppy. And that's Ellie here. And the reason why we named her Ellie was because our other Ellie, she was just a little baby. You know, she died. She wasn't even 2. And she didn't get to live her life. So when we got the new Ellie, my thought was I wanted to carry on my other Ellie's name, and hopefully I'd have a dog that wouldn't get sick and be able to live her life. And so the other Ellie, we used to call her Ellie Bell, because she had a little fat belly when she was little, and when we would rub her belly, the kids actually started it. They started calling her Ellie Belly, and so then I just started calling her Ellie Bell. But then when we got this Ellie, you know, so that their names were, you know, a little bit special for themselves, we nicknamed her Baby Ellie, because she was so small too, and she was the baby.
Well, look at who's there. Look who's there.
Alright.
I'm recording.
Take a shot of that. I ain't messing with it.
Oh, with her drinking out of the hose. Chloe likes the hose. Lucy? Lucy! She's drinking water that's leaking. There's our baby Elle. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. Are you going to come out and play?
And we never thought that we would get a 4th puppy, but Lacey, come here, good girl. But Lacey, I saw her online. You know how on Facebook they have for your community, you know, whatever community you live in, that name, and then it will say garage sale, or I think it's garage sale, not yard sale, where people post garage sales that they're going to have, and they'll even post things that they want to sell. Well, somebody had posted a picture of her. They couldn't keep her anymore. The thing is with Lacey, look at her. The people that had her, they both worked. The guy and the lady, they worked. The kids were in school. So she was in a kennel all day. And they had a boy boxer. He was 5. And I guess he was pretty aggressive to her. And they shared a food bowl. See, now you go in my laundry room, I have 2 water dishes and I have 3 food dishes. So that, you know, because all 4 of them aren't eating at the same time, but if a couple want to go in there, you know, they're able to go in there and have their own dish that they can eat out of. When you have a boy boxer and he's older, he's going to show a little bit more aggression when it comes to the food. And so the poor thing, she was never really able to eat. And when we got her, and you guys have seen videos of her, she was skin and bones.
Look who's coming. Look who's coming. That's our new baby. Say hi.
My name is Lacey. She just looked anorexic. She was way underweight. I had taken her to the vet immediately. She seemed to be healthy, but just very much underweight. And so, you know, she was in a crate all day, like I said. So being here, obviously, she's never seen a crate ever again. You know, she roams free in the house and in the yard. She has sisters that are not aggressive to her, and they play with her. And she eats now, and she's put on weight. So let's see, I took her to the vet a couple months ago, And we got her in October. So in about 4 months that we had her, she gained 11 pounds. She's still a little puppy, so you got to remember, little puppies are outside running around. Even here in the house, she's always running around, burning off a lot of calories. So she eats really well, is what I'm saying. And if it wasn't for the fact that she's still a little puppy, she probably would have put on even a little bit more weight. But she burns off some of those calories running around in the yard. So this is the history of my boxers. I say that they're all sisters to each other. I'll, tell them they're good girlies and go play with your sister and that sort of thing. And the only ones, if my Ellie Belle would still be here, Ellie and Chloe, they would actually be the only boxers that were blood related. So in ending this, I will share where I got them. So Lucy, when we wanted to get a puppy, living in Chicago, we had the Chicago Tribune newspaper. We opened it up, and there were boxer puppies in LaPorte, Indiana. And so we drove 2 hours to go get her. Then Chloe, the breeder that we got her and her sister from, were in Bird in Hand, and it was an Amish guy, a young guy. He lived with his parents, but I think he was in his 20s, and he was doing a dog breeding business of his own. And he had the mother, and his brother, who lived on a different Amish farm, had the father. So that's where we got her. So it was in Lancaster County in Bird in Hand. And then we got this Ellie from a Mennonite family, which they're kind of like the Amish, but they use electricity and drive cars and that sort of thing. It was a lovely couple. The lady was pregnant with her 6th child. Matter of fact, when we went to go pick her out and put the deposit down, she was still pregnant. And when we went back, she was not pregnant anymore. She had the baby. But anyway, we got her in Ephrata. And so then this little one, Lacey, we got her in Nottingham, PA. But the guy had told me that when he purchased her online, and when you purchase dogs online, they can come from all over the country. And she actually was born in Texas, and he had her shipped here. And he had told me, I don't know if it's the truth, but he had told me that he had paid $2,500 for her. And I can believe it, because when you go online, there are boxers that they sell for $1,500 and $2,000, which is ridiculously high. I guess they're going by bloodlines and so forth. But anyway, then he had to have her shipped here on the plane. So he said altogether he had spent $2,500 for her, and he sold her to me for $400. So, but she's a very happy girl since she's been here. Not saying that she wasn't happy and those people were not good to her. I believe that they were, but they were just, gone all the time. And then there was the boy dog that would never let her eat anything. So, anyway, that's the history of the girlies. Speaking of her bloodline, see, the guy, he was supposed to send me her papers when he found them. He never sent them to me, so I don't know. But anyway, that's the history on her. If she was real expensive because of having champion bloodlines and all those things, like I said, it is true. You can go online. You can find dogs of all different sorts of breeds, but even boxers, where they'll sell them, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 for a boxer. And they claim it's because of their pedigree, the champion bloodlines and so forth. But let's look at Miss Lucy over here. The lady that had Lucy, she owned a dog grooming business, and she had the mother and the father. Her mother was a brindle, like Chloe, the dark brindle here, which that's actually called reverse brindle. Lacey's what is a brindle. And Ellie and Lucy is what they call a fawn. But her mother was a brindle, and her father was a fawn, and her father was a champion. I forget how many times a champion he was. And we have that even proof on her papers. Her father was 7 when she was born, and that's how old Lucy is right now. So that's the other thing about boxers, their colors. When you see them, all this color here, this is what they call fawn. When they're dark like this, we've always just said brindle. It is brindle, but it's a reverse brindle. A true brindle is like this, where they're the fawn color with a little bit of black. See, that's what the reverse is. The reverse, it's got the black with the fawn stripes in it, so it's like backwards, so that's how they call it. And again, she's a fawn too. And so, one more interesting tip, if you like boxers and don't already know, how did they get the boxer breed? They bred it from an English bulldog and from a German dog that's, I forget the technical name of it, but it's like a mastiff, but it's called something else. You know, you got your bull mastiffs, you got your English mastiff. So if you know anything about mastiffs, mastiffs are big and tall, and they are pretty much, you know, that kind of color. If you know anything about English bulldogs, you know that you can get all different kinds of colors. You can get the brindle and the white, fawn and white. There's always the white on the paws. And then, of course, then that's where you get the little smushy faces. A mastiff, as you know, will have a black mask, and so that's why some of the boxers will have a black mask. But then you get like Chloe, and you know when her teeth are always sticking out, and you've seen that in like videos and pictures. You know that English bulldogs, that's the kind of face that they have. They have like their they have the, what is it called, the underbite, and so then their teeth stick out and so forth. So that's where they get their little smushy faces. It comes a little bit from the bulldog and the mastiff. That's why some of them, especially the fawns, will have a black mask. And then when they get like all the different colors going, that comes from English bulldogs, because that's their markings. And also English bulldogs, I've seen some of them where they're brindle too. So, and brindle like this. So anyway, that's my girlies. That's the history of my girlies. And if you have any other questions, just let me know. Say goodbye. Say thank you for being interested in us. Bye.